I want to welcome everyone to the Perry Stone YouTube channel. I want to share some information with you that I think you're going to find very interesting. The question I want to ask you is, why are people fleeing several states and several of the major cities the way they are? And I want to give you this update about the state of Tennessee. Two pieces of information came to me that I thought were very intriguing. Number one, according to U-Haul out of Nashville, the state of Tennessee, the last couple months of last year, became the number one state that people were moving to. And I think Texas and Florida were like number 2 and 3. Of course, they're much larger states than Tennessee is. The second thing that came to me was a friend of mine. There was some property that he had put up for sale that he decided to sell. And this has just been recently, just the past a week or two at the time of this taping. And it had 80 acres with a house, a little greenhouse, and a little apartment on it. And the moment they put it up, within about a day to 2 days, there were 11 people from different states, California, one was from Texas, one from Washington, D.C., one was from Florida, a couple were from up north, that immediately told him they were interested in the property. And it was actually property that was, it's quite expensive when you have that amount of acreage. And I began to ask him, I said, wow, why do you think so many people are interested? And I'm going to tell you what he told me in a moment. But he then said to me, he said, a report just came out that Bradley County, now I am in Bradley County, Voice of Evangelism, our ministry, Omega Center International is in Bradley County. Bradley County is the 11th county in the entire United States where more people are moving to. And I said, no, wait a minute, you mean Tennessee? He said, no. The report said in the United States. Now, we do know that that's true, and here's the reason why. There are normally 300 to 400 homes available this time of year in our county. There are less than 75 homes that are available in the entire county. And our county has probably about, I don't know the exact number, 110,000 people living in it. But there are not enough homes for people to buy. We had one of our great partners that had to move out of their apartment. They've been looking for a home for several months and could not even find one the size they needed because, one, most people are holding on to their property. And number two, when the property comes up for sale, like the day it comes up, people are buying it. So there are several reasons why people are fleeing the cities. Now, I'm going to give you the basic reason. Base reason number one that we're finding people are moving, for example, to Tennessee is because the cities on the West Coast and the Northeast have become so liberal in their thinking that families no longer want to raise their children in those areas. They want to raise them in a more conservative state or a conservative area. Now, that's reason number one that parents with, 3, 4, 5, and 6 children have been moving to our counties. Bradley County is one of the most conservative counties there was. They passed, anyway, I don't want to get into that, but they passed a liquor law, which I was totally against, and that changed some things in our county. But outside of that, when it comes to churches, Christianity, the Bible, and faith, very conservative county, politically conservative county. So they're moving to more conservative areas, and they're moving by the thousands. Number two is the taxes. Tennessee doesn't have a tax like we have a high sales tax, 10%, but outside of that, we don't have the state tax that some of the other states have. So corporations and businesses are moving here, just making deals with the governor and with the local mayors on tax issues. And so there's all kinds of corporations popping up around our county. That's number two. So the conservative beliefs. And number three is the cities are becoming hubs of violence. And in the more smaller towns or rural, not necessarily a rural town, but a smaller city, the violence level is down a little lower. Number four, people want to go where people watch each other's back and where that they, take care of their neighbors, so to speak. And so, our county is one of those rare areas where you can actually go into a store and they're playing gospel, J103 gospel music. And people from, let's say, Massachusetts and Vermont and Connecticut, or even from California or Oregon, especially, they come here or Minnesota, and it blows them away. They said, people look at you and say, God bless you. And one lady told me, said, I'm from Minnesota. If you said God bless you to somebody at a table in Minnesota, you'd probably get fired from your job. So what I'm saying is, and it is a red state, blue state, because most of your blue states are becoming very liberal. Most of your red states still have a conservative element, or are a few of them are very conservative. So I want you to know that people are fleeing like crazy the states and the cities. The other thing is there's areas where fault lines are giving way and the earth is shaking and there's possibility of tsunamis and there's fires and weather patterns and sometimes the extreme cold of the north is causing people to come to the south. But the bottom line is, I'll give you one story and I'm going to be done. In the days of the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, 4 cities were destroyed, but Zoar was not destroyed because it was a small city or a little city, and that's the city that Lot went to. So I would suggest this to you, and that is to be in prayer about where you're living. If you feel comfortable where you are and you love where you are, then be happy where you are. Be the salt and the light if you're a believer to other people. And you know what that means scripturally. But if you feel like that you just can't take much more of it of where you're at, then you need to maybe looking at areas that you can come to. I do know that the farmland, when it comes up around here, I mean, it's just swallowed up by people that have a lot of money from these major cities. They're buying farming land and they're buying places with digging wells. It's absolutely, it's just incredible, especially my real estate friends that are in town. They said, Perry, we've never seen anything like it. And it's all over. It's Knoxville, it's Nashville, it's parts of Memphis. And so not just talking about Tennessee here, there's other states where it's happening as well. But I want to just present that to you because the Bible said in the book of Revelation that men would flee to the mountains at the time of the end, especially during the time of great tribulation. So maybe that's a part of it as well. Let me just mention to you real quick, please watch the rest of this because I've got something to share with you. And don't forget to subscribe and give us a thumbs up because that's how that people know that these teachings are out there. And we have a Bible giveaway every week to new subscribers. We do a drawing for new subscribers. Pick one person that gets this right here, one of our beautiful New Testaments with my entire commentary. So if you've not subscribed, you may want to do that. We'd love to have you to do that because I want you to be able to hear everything we've got to say in the days ahead. Thank you so much, and may the Lord bless every one of you. Often Christians become emotionally confused, mentally tormented, living in depression while others are struggling to receive their healing. Some can't understand why their prayers are not being answered. Now, if you desire a complete spiritual breakthrough, I have the resource. I want to teach you about your self-built roadblocks and hindrances. For example, Christians are constantly fishing up the past sins of those who have been forgiven and whispering forbidden information to other believers, which itself is a sin according to the New Testament. According to Christ, these actions can release a tormenting spirit that attracts and attacks the accusers, Matthew 18. This book that I have just written is the most comprehensive manuscript exposing details as to why 7 out of 10 Christians are living a hindered life and how they can be free. I'm going to teach you the danger of doing everything right but one thing wrong. Discover a dangerous lesson that you must learn from a man named Shimei. Learn how Christians are becoming unhappy hookers, actually hooking themselves in their own trouble. Hear the stunning story of an angel who rebuked a minister for bringing up his wife's past forgiven sins. How unforgiveness undermines the possibility of receiving your healing. Discover Christ's secret about the law of 2 or 3 agreeing. I'll explain how Christians daily are often guilty of becoming a false witness. There's a link between forgiveness and increasing your faith. The struggle of releasing extreme forgiveness in extreme cases is an important chapter I deal with. I reveal 4 things that God allows you to judge, and perhaps the most explosive chapter, listen to this, is when God revokes your future forgiveness. Now, by the way, it's all biblical, and you need to hear this. With this new book, I'm including the new CD album, The Keys to Praying for Prodigal Children. This 2-hour audio CD will empower you on how to intercede, speaking deliverance over your children and your grandchildren who are not serving Christ, and the process of how to break satanic strongholds in their lives. This is one of the most important teachings in my 44 years of ministry. It's time for you to receive your entire family's breakthrough. My new landmark book, Fishing in the Sea of Forgetfulness, and the album is called Keys to Praying for Prodigal Children, is available to you for a donation of $35 or more. Order right now online at perrystone.org or call the toll-free number 1-888-21-BREAD or mail your donation of $35 and request offer F134. The address is Perry Stone, P.O. Box 3595, Cleveland, Tennessee 37320. If you follow the instructions detailed in this book and pursue the breakthrough prayer principles, you will experience an awesome spiritual breakthrough. Order this brand new resource offer today.